Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the liberal loudmouth. So, Montana Supreme Court has ruled that there is a constitutional right to a clean environment, and that includes trying to prevent climate change. Let's take a look at this article real quick. Global warming can't be ignored, Montana's top court says, upholding landmark climate case. So, Montana's Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld that climate ruling that said that the state was violating residents' constitutional rights to a clean environment by permitting oil, gas, and coal projects without regard for global warming. The justices, in a 6-1 ruling, rejected the state's argument that greenhouse gases released from Montana fossil fuel projects are minuscule on a global scale, and reducing them would have no effect on climate change, likening it to asking, if everyone else jumped off a bridge, would you do it too? The plaintiffs can enforce their environmental rights, quote, without requiring everyone else to stop jumping off bridges or adding fuel to the fire, Chief Justice Mike McGrath wrote for the majority. Otherwise, the right to a clean and healthful environment is meaningless. The lawsuit, filed in 2020 by 16 Montanans who are now ages 7 to 23, was considered a breakthrough in attempts by young environmentalists and their attorneys to use the courts to leverage action on climate change. Going forward, Montana must, quote, carefully assess the greenhouse gas emissions and climate impacts of all future fuel permits. Republican Governor Greg Gianforte said that the state was still reviewing the decision, but warned of perpetual lawsuits that will waste taxpayer dollars and drive up energy bills for hardworking Montanans. This decision does nothing more than declare open season on Montana's all-of-the-above approach to energy, he said, which promotes using both fossil fuels and renewables. Senate President Matt Regier and House Speaker Brandon Lair joined Gianforte in alleging the justices were overstepping their authority and had strayed into policymaking. Actually, that's not what they did at all. They said that there is a constitutional right to have a clean environment. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. How can you do that if you're riddled with cancer, or you can't breathe because you have COPD, or you can't even see because the smog is so heavy? Now, I'm sure that's not happening in Montana, but you get the point. Montana's constitution requires agencies to, quote, maintain and improve a clean environment. A law signed by Gianforte last year said environmental reviews may not consider climate impacts unless the federal government makes carbon dioxide a regulated pollutant. The Montana Supreme Court's ruling found that law to be unconstitutional. And of course, Republicans are going to cry and whine. Oh, they're taking away our big money. And I love how they paint the renewable or the green energy as if it's this huge moneyed interest. Oh, they're just trying to make money off of it. Yet they're ignoring the fact that oil companies have basically run everything for the last, 150 years now? And folks, climate change theory has been around since the 1800s. A lot of people don't realize this, but it's true. This isn't something that the modern media just came up with and that they just started talking about just 30, 40 years ago to pad money into the pockets of green energy. Horseshit. It was first theorized in the 1800s, but they couldn't test it. And then they proved that the insulative properties of those gases absolutely will warm the earth if it gets coated. And it gets proven every single advancement that we have from the 1800s till today. That's why the vast majority of climate scientists and scientists in general agree that climate change is actually happening. And all you really have to do is open up your damn door and look outside for just a little bit, and you'll notice, this weather's kind of weird. Oh, it's flooding in areas where it didn't flood before. Asheville, North Carolina, you don't think that was from some other thing happening? No, this is big oil trying to push against green energy. But here's my deal. I don't care if you believe it's climate change or not. I think we should be able to breathe clean air. We know that burning fuel causes pollution in the air, so we should reduce that if we have the opportunity to. And now our technology is advancing to the point where we don't need to burn those fossil fuels as much, and so we shouldn't, if only for the reason to have cleaner air. So go on and don't believe in climate change if you will, but let's all agree that maybe the air should be as clean as possible and we not pollute any more than we have to. And I don't know, I'm kind of sick and tired of having to watch my presidents kiss the ass of Saudi Arabia because they generally control the spot price for oil. Because if they reduce production, it costs everybody else more money, and we become reliant on crude from halfway across the world. And if they get a bug up their ass and they want to jack up the price and cause problems in the United States, they'll be able to do that unless we get away from those fossil fuels. So even if you don't believe in climate change and you don't mind sucking in pollution into your lungs every day of your life, if you don't mind those two, then at the very least, let's stop kissing the ass of Saudi Arabia and these other oil countries. How about that? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree with the courts, or do you agree with the governor that they overstepped their judicial bounds? We'll catch you in the next video. This is the Liberal Loudmouth.